Hello, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. Today's date is Thursday, September 8th, 2022. And today is the day that it was decided to announce that the Queen of England has died. I was several hours away from my home, away from home, when the news came out. And I thought, darn, it's always this way. I was several hours away from home when the raid on Mar-a-Lago occurred. But just to clarify that point a little bit, today was the only day this entire trip that I should be several hours away from home, because we're in a season of big change. I have to admit, I was happy that the news came out, even though those of us that are awake know that the actual demise had occurred sometime in the past, quite a while ago, actually. But it marks the acceleration of events that need to occur for our world to move into the place it should be, that's more closely aligned with what our Creator intended. I have to tell you, driving all the way home from Bangor, it's a little over a 3-hour drive. I kept looking up at the sky and going, okay, now show yourself. I just pictured layers of ships up there and, wanting them to stop cloaking themselves and make themselves known. Because when we've been awake for a while, we want things to happen yesterday, right? Well, we know that there's still some big events that need to happen. 46 needs to step off stage. SCOTUS has a ruling that they need to make public. There's lots of events that have to happen before we're truly on the home stretch here. But this was a big event. It really was. It's the London Bridge event that we said would kind of start the cascade and faster acceleration of change. So what I wanted to do tonight, because the universe doesn't recognize time as we do, and you can ask about events in a time frame. So I was trying to think of a good way to do it that I could come on and give everybody a little access to universal wisdom here through the cards, not necessarily through me. And what I've decided to do, because we know that this was one event, we know that this event, for people that are asleep, there's people that are going to be genuinely mourning what they think is truly the passing of someone notable and admirable. They've got a long way to go. And we also know that because this was an event that the deep state tried to postpone, delay, and put off as long as possible, that, as usual, they're going to be doing some tantruming and rearguard actions as they go. So what I'd like to do, today is Thursday, and I'd like to ask the universe respectfully, in the coming week, those of us that are awake, that know this is just one of numerous events that have to happen as our world changes, both politically and spiritually and dimensionally, and it's a combination change that I think you that watch my channel realize it's not just political, it's not just spiritual, it's a mix, a very, very intricate mix. So I want to ask the universe in the coming week, from today through the coming week, so I don't need to look at recent past, what does the universe want those of us that are awake to be aware of, so that we can navigate through the next few days, the next week, with wisdom and assurance and safety. So let's see what the universe advises to those of us that are awake for the coming week. Let's see. 1 second. We have the anniversary of 9/11 coming up. It'd be beautiful if something wonderful happened to on that day, since so much evil and plotted evil happened on 9/11. But again, we're looking for a change for our world. and we're looking for advice for the coming week. So let's see what the universe has to say. Because we're smart enough cookies, we know there's more that has to happen. The Tower. Remember how it was in the near future, and then it got into the present, and so this was our Tower moment. That's what the Tower's been telling us all along. Okay, so our first card's the Tower. Then we have the Three of Wands. We have the Knight of Cups, Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Knight of Wands, lots of wands, and Two of Swords. Okay, so we asked the universe, what do we need to know, those of us that are awake, to navigate through the coming days? And I gave a week for the parameter, with some wisdom and assurance and safety. So these events, the passing of the Queen is the Tower moment. And the Three of Wands is a card of success. So it was something that needed to happen and finally did. Yay. Now, remember, we were asking for the present moving on, so we don't have a near past here. We're being told the Knight of Cups is in play here. He's tricky. He makes false promises. Okay? So in the coming week, keep your discernment on full throttle and know when you're being tricked or someone is trying to manipulate your emotions, reactions, what have you. So be careful. Okay, in the coming week is what the Knight of Cups always tells me. He's not dangerous, but I have to use my discernment. Now, the Queen of Wands is also showing up as some of our, in the next few days, our advice. We've got a couple of queens here, and let's talk about them. With the Queen of Wands, she is very self-assured, and she is accomplished. So this, the demise of that queen was actually a move on the part of the White Hats that she's optimistic, accomplished. It's a very good card. Okay, so there is a lot that's going to be accomplished in the coming days. Okay, don't be surprised if we hear Ukraine in the news, because I'm focusing in on this sunflower that she holds, and I know that that is one of the Ukrainian symbols. So keep your eye on Ukraine in the coming week. Okay, moving ahead, we've got the Queen of Swords here for the remainder of our week, and then some clarifying advice, and we'll pull a few other cards and see what's going on. Okay, with the Queen of Swords, she is intelligent and clear thinking and patient. Okay, so as we have friends and family who may, not just with this event with the Queen, because that seems pretty standard. She was old, she's going to pass away. But if other events start happening, SCOTUS rulings, resignations, what have you, and people really get jarred, or those ships I said I was, uncloak yourselves, I want to see you. Show yourself. We have those big events like that. We need to stay loving and compassionate and not do I told you so, and make people feel bad that they had it so wrong for so long. Let's just be glad that they joined the party. Okay, it's like if you've got someone that's off serving our country and their leave is delayed and they can't get to your reunion weekend, but they make it for the last few hours, you're so glad they show up, right? Let's treat people that are waking up like that. We're just glad you're here now, and we'll help you. Okay, the Knight of Wands is some of our clarifying, our most important advice card here, the Knight of Wands. And he tends to be really energetic. There's a lot of energy that's going to be out this next week. Some of it tricky, okay? And some of it very wise and accomplished. That needs to be us. But there's going to be a lot of activity in the coming days and weeks, and we need to, again, be kind, compassionate, and use our discernment at all times on situations. Now we have the Two of Swords here showing up for less important advice, it's secondary. She can indicate both a stalemate and with her balancing out the reckless energy or the not so much reckless, but just high energy of the night, she may be indicating more of a truce, okay, that's coming along as we move forward. There may be some, backdoor deals that we're not going to be privy to, but will benefit from. Love that tower moment. The Fool showing up here. Now, the Fool's setting out not foolishly, but on a new journey. We are getting into new territory. We're out of the same old loop, okay? London Bridge has happened. There's other events that are going to happen, and we are stepping forth. And ultimately, the path of humanity is going somewhere incredibly wonderful and new. It's a path we should have already been on long ago. And this is bolstered by the Six of Swords, which is a card of moving out of troubled waters. So this is a very positive development. We have a reconciliation card here. So yeah, we are going to be reconciled with those that were semi-awake. We're going to be compassionate and loving towards those that are going to be jolted, somewhat awake. And we're not going to waste our energy on those that refuse, right? Ultimately, we're looking at our world moving into a new path, a path that was more what it was designed for originally. Maybe some multiple paths. I've heard people say that there are multiple timeline and dimensional possibilities, and so be it. If that's the way it is, that's fine with me. Okay. So this coming week, we're not going to gloat. We're going to watch developments with interest and not fear. If there is an internet outage, it's probably temporary. Same thing with financial. We've had some of those blips already on the radar. We're going to know that it's okay not to be fearful. Give yourself permission to not feel fear, to embrace change with curiosity and courage. It's a beautiful time to be alive. I'm so glad I'm here, and I hope you're glad you're here. And I can't wait for this all to roll out. I'm so glad I'm still alive and part of this. And I'm glad you are too. Now, you'll notice that I don't claim the cards have said that there's one possible answer for a lot of things. There's things I don't read about. I do that deliberately because I try to be accepting of lots of theories. Like I just mentioned, I've been hearing that there's multiple, paths for humanity to take. I don't dismiss anything. It's going in the, I'm interested. Let's see if that's what ends up happening. And then in the meantime, some of the other advice we've had in the past is always good. Don't be fearful, be cautious. Know that when dark hats are in retreat, they do some nasty rearguard actions. So if you're in large crowds or public places, have that situational awareness going on. Don't get sucked into drama. We can keep our vibration high without putting ourselves in harm's way. We can change our reality without doing it in the streets and getting sucked into things. Remember, we have that tricky energy there. So don't let yourself ask yourself, is this something I'm really feeling? Is this something I really feel called to do? Okay. Use your discretion, use your discernment in the coming days. And if there is an internet outage, I know I had a terrible time tonight getting Zoom to work for me and the internet to work for me. If there is an outage, just remember, our job is to stay safe, take care of our loved ones, our neighbors, keep it local, keep it loving, and stay safe. And then view all these changes with a little bit of humor, like, well, it's about time, and some curiosity, and just roll with it. Let's just make our loving creator really happy with how we handle these changes, even though we're saying, hey, it's about time. It's about damn time. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for your time. It's precious. I don't take it for granted. And I send you love and light.